So what brought you to New York today?
What brought me to New York today is basically to be part of the Commission of Status of Women, and basically what my role is, or what was the push for me to be here, is to bring to the global agenda the role that grassroots women are playing in their communities, to be able to bring about development and changes in their community. Grassroots groups or grassroots women for a long time have not been involved in the processes that bring about the goals, like the Sustainable Development Goal, the Millennium Development Goals. So my role today, what brought me here, is to be able to voice this need to involve grassroots groups, to showcase the work of the grassroots groups and how they should be involved as meaningful partners in the processes of developing these goals.
You were talking in the meeting about this idea of different ways of fighting corruption, where one being more confrontational, and another being more trying to engage the governmental authorities in a dialogue. Can you explain a little bit that idea?
Yes, there are different approaches to bring, transparency and accountability in our communities. Certain groups would prefer to use more confrontational approaches, which actually are aimed at naming and shaming and punishing those individuals or those institutions that are involved in corrupt practices, and that works for some communities or for some groups, but for us as grassroots organizations, we have found from our experience that that is not the only way in which corruption can be tackled. We prefer to use non-confrontational approaches, or approaches that are less confrontational, that are more aimed at bringing partnership, dialogue, and negotiation among different actors, the local leadership, so as to bring about transparency and accountability in our communities. So basically, for us as grassroots organizations, we are engaged in non-confrontational approaches where we have forged partnerships with local leaders. We talk about these issues. We try to, create partnerships and linkages on how we can solve this problem together, other than isolating ourselves from them and making them labeling them as the bad people here or the people that are corrupt. We want to work together because this affects us, it affects them, it affects their children as well. And once they see that, once we start having such conversations, we tend to see more effective changes happening in our communities, other than having or only concentrating on confrontational approaches.
What are for you the next steps to be taken in your project?
In my project, basically what we want to do is that we want to strengthen what we are doing. We want to upscale what we are doing, what we have been doing over the periods before. We have been, working with the grassroots groups, organizing at grassroots level, creating these partnerships at grassroots level, and that's what we want to strengthen. We want to strengthen these approaches, but at the same time, we want these approaches to be replicated in other communities, because we have seen that these approaches are working. These approaches are effective, and they are we have proof that this works. So we want this to be upscaled. At the same time, we want this to be replicated to other communities, and we also want to link our initiatives at the grassroots level with the national level, with our governments, with the civil society that is working at national level, and also go beyond the national level to the global level. So we want to see these practices upscaled along all these levels.
Thank you very much. If you have anything else to say, if not, thank you very much for having come today and for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.